behavior looks like tail behavior. It looks like bottom feeder behavior. It looks like poor thinking behavior, bad behavior. And some of you deal with these things and you're saying, why am I dealing with bad, repetitive behavior? You still got Egypt in your mind. God is saying, I've got something better for you, but you haven't gotten it because you haven't presented yourself to him. So God calls for this time of feasting while they are wandering in the wilderness at the place of Mount Sinai. God is speaking and giving his revelation and his word. And he says, the first one he comes to in that verse of chapter 23, verse 15, he comes to the feast of unleavened bread. Unleavened bread, which came immediately after the feast of the Passover. You all should study this when you have more time, and I can't go through all the 7 feasts. I'm just going to deal with a portion of them on today. But it was celebrated actually slightly earlier according to the lunar calendar than we celebrate actual feasts, which we just called last week Pentecost. They probably would have celebrated that a little bit earlier in their calendar. But the point I'm making here is we know that what the Passover was is that they were yet enslaved in bondage. And he said, you all have to take an animal, a lamb, and you have to slay it, and you have to put the blood up on the doorpost. And he said, if you do that, he said, I will do what? Pass over you. But there was another command, and this is going to help us, some of us brothers. The reason why you had the feast of the unleavened bread is because while the women were kneading their dough, while they were getting ready to bake their bread in a slave land, hear me good, you can eat good being a slave. Oh, I'm just going to go ahead and say it the way God given it to me. I said this is a message for challenge, did I not? You can eat good on a job, but you can eat better if you own the business. You can eat good on a job, but you eat better owning the business. One of the greatest tricks of the enemy in this feast of unleavened bread is the enemy has a way of feeding you while you are a slave. And he makes you think that this is so good. Why would you ever leave this place? If the enemy can make you develop a taste for bondage bread, you'll never know what a free table tastes like. If he can get you satisfied on his leavened loaf, you'll never understand the goodness. And God says, I prepare